Hi my friends, welcome to the Diamond Painting Effect with Corey. I'm Corey and today I'm here with a Stitch With Me, and the Stitch With Me today is Counting June. I'm doing a kind of a collaboration with Ava over at Stitching in the Interlake, and she has a theme of the month and I am happy to join her in doing that. It's a theme or a challenge. This month's challenge is doing counted, since we tend to do our stamped cross stitching more than the counted cross stitch. So we're doing a focus on counted cross stitch this month. And I want to thank Ava for letting me join her on this collaboration. And we'll be stitching different things, but we'll both be stitching counted cross stitch on Wednesday of the month of June. So I'm excited about it, and I hope she is too. What I worked on last week when we got together was I worked on the June. It's a Heaven and Earth. It's hands-on design, and it's called Celebration. A Year of Celebrations is what it's called. And so this is the month of June. I am almost finished with it, so I'm not going to work on it today. There's some problems with it that I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with it yet. I don't like how this very light color is not standing out, and I have a choice of either finding a darker color that will work on this fabric, because this is supposed to be a darker brown fabric. But I really didn't like that. So I need to find a way to adjust the colors so it will work. And I can either outline these things or I can change the color. And I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. So I might do a little of both. I might outline what's in the pinwheel and on the basket, and then just find a different color for the starfish. But this was also an experiment that I talked with you guys about. I am using the threads that I got from TEMU. They do not have a brand name or anything that I know of, and but they were really cheap. You get the whole set of 447 colors for not so very much. I think it's between $30 and $40, somewhere in there. And so what I did was I did a sample swatch here. I should have ironed that, sorry. But the biggest difference I noticed is if you can see, let me see if I can bring it in a little bit more. Let's see. I need to bring it in more, go the other direction. There we go. I only had 3 of the colors that are in this kit. I only had 3 of them also in DMC. But the TEMU color is the one on top, and the DMC color is the one on the bottom. As you can see, the TEMU colors are fluffier. They cover better than the DMC colors do. But I think the DMC threads are stronger and more durable as you stitch with them. That's my experience. I showed you, I'm going to show you right here the DMC colors that I had. I'm going to back out a little bit again so maybe I can deal with this better. Here we go. I wish I had better lighting. But see, this is color 839. That is a DMC color. And this is color 839 from the TEMU bag. They're right. Let's see if I can get all this other stuff out of the way. Turn this over so there's a white background. So there is a slight difference in color, but it's not something that's going to bother me. There's a blue, this blue color right here was the biggest difference. The DMC color is definitely a different shade of blue. it's not really showing up that much here, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. This one is a little more blue than this one is. This one has a little more slate look to it. And the other one that I had one of was the 436. And this is a bigger difference in color, I thought. And of course, that one does show up more on the camera. So there are some variations. I don't know it would be any better with different dye lots of DMC threads. So I don't know. The other thing is when you compare the strands, I'm going to pause you for a minute and then I'll be back in a minute. Okay, when you compare the strands, I don't know if you can see. This one is a TEMU strand and this is a DMC strand. And this one is much more loosely wound. There's actually two fibers and this one's much more loosely wound than the DMC is. And I think that is why I'm having more trouble making the threads look smooth and even when I stitch with them. So I think it was more obvious when I showed the blue color on Monday. If y'all want to go see that video, you can. Yeah, they're just not wound as nicely and uniformly as the DMCs are. So, having said all that, I don't think my everyday, I stitch because I enjoy stitching. And there's so many little patterns that I would like to try and do. And it's so much cheaper to have these threads. I may be, you know, when I think my Heaven and Earth design was I'll probably stick with DMC, or maybe someday I'll order the CXC from AliExpress. But for my little knickknacks I don't care a whole lot about, I'll probably continue to use those just because they're so much cheaper. What I'm going to start today is, it's a new start, and this is a pattern. It's called Summer. I think it's Russian. I found this pattern. This is cute little website. It's called mybobbin.com. And mybobbin.com I found out about from I Stitch Birds, and she has a new channel that she's just started doing floss tube. I love her to death. I just love her. And but she told me about mybobbin.com, and I went over and looked, and they have a lot of patterns that are very, very inexpensive. And I can't remember how much I paid for this one, but this one is called Summer. And it's like you're looking through a boat window or something like that. It's in a foreign language, so I can't read it, but the important things are here. The things that you need are here in this. And then it has the pattern. When you get the pattern, I'm wanting to say I probably paid $7 for this one, between $5 and $7, maybe $4.99. I can't remember. But they have it in color. Oh, I shouldn't be showing you the whole pattern. Well, I'm not showing the whole pattern. They have the whole pattern in color, and they have it in color with the back stitching, in color without the back stitching, and then they have it in black and white with the back stitching, and then black and white without the back stitching. So however you want your pattern to be, they've got it there for you, and I think that's kind of cool that they do that. This video's already getting long, and I think this might be a little bit longer video today because there's one other thing I wanted to share with you today. I did the floss drops. I noticed that these had, when I took them apart, the sticky was still sticky on both ends of it, and I was able to just use that on the floss drop. And the reason I decided to go ahead and do this, I still have the symbols over here, but this way it'll be uniform. When I'm done with these, I can put them back in my kit and it will still have this here. And So all of my ones from that TEMU order will have that sticker on them. I'll probably still keep them separate, not put them with my DMCs, but anyway, the other thing I wanted to share with, I didn't get them all floss dropped last night. I was, you know, I got tired of doing that, so I quit. I thought I would share with you how I do my floss drops. Maybe not get a whole lot of stitching done today, but this saved my tush. I saw somebody on YouTube. It's somebody I don't watch normally. It just popped up and I watched it. So I can't even tell you who it is. But it's a way of doing the threads. Where's my 702? I'm going to look for 702. And here we go. Okay. So I'm peeling off the sticker. Y'all can label. I've already put the symbol on here. These are actually necklace earring set drop cards that you can get off of Amazon. And I have already messed this up. If I fold it at the back side, there's a little bit stick on the other side, and hopefully that will hold. I might have to reinforce some of these, but it's already holding. This is how I do my putting the floss onto floss drops, as I find the end, and there's two ways you can do it. You can find the other end at the same time and get them similar, match them up like this. I've got the two ends, I've got the other around my wrist, and then I just move my hand back and forth as I pull it out. And then when it gets too long, I'll pull my fingers along like this, and then I'll go in and out, and that just, and of course it's going to mess up for us here today. I don't usually have this trouble. It's because I'm on camera, right? But you can also do it by just doing one of the strands. It doesn't really matter. And then what you do is, when you end up with all of it unwound, see, you just proved my point that this doesn't work, but oh my gosh. Stubborn that way. Anyway, I usually don't have any trouble with this. It just comes right off, and I just go like this all the way to the end until you have it folded. Basically, you've got your thread folded in half right there. So I go back and find the other end. And depending on how long you want your threads to be, I like them long because I do the hoop and loop method when I start. I match up the other end, and then I pull it again. So I folded it once. Now I'm folding it twice. And so now I'm folding it 3 times, and that's all I have to fold it. Now that's the length I want it. I'm going to match up the 2 ends now. And I'm going to clip them. And I could just cut it like that if I wanted, or go like this so I don't waste any. You just need to not forget any, because it'll make a mess when you start trying to pull them off. Just don't forget that step. And then I put them on the floss drop. And that color is number 702. And then I've got it on the floss drop. So, I'm set. So, I still have some more that I need to do, but I'll do that later. And I'll get started on this stitching, because that's what we came for, is a stitch with me, right? I went on to 123 Stitch, and they have a calculator on it that helps you figure out what size fabric. This is called for 14 or 16 count. 16 a count is what I had on hand. And so this is regular Aida cloth that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to start at the center. Let's see, I'm going to go down. I will go ahead. There's a very top is it's like a little black flower. Let's see if I've got that one flossed up yet. I should have been ready for this. I'm gonna do, I'll look real quick. No, I don't have that one floss dropped yet. So I'm gonna do this color right here. It's 433 and it's a star. And it's this area right here that I'm gonna start on. So I'm gonna drop this down. That's the part where I want to start there. I'm gonna drop this down about 15 stitches. And I'm gonna get a needle out. This one is a John James needle. I want to try, that's a size 24. I think I want a size 26. So I'm going to get a, and of course I keep getting out the wrong color. I'm sorry, guys. This is a lesson in being prepared right here. So this is a size 26 needle that 123 Stitch recommended that size for this fabric because I am no expert in these matters. So I just want one thread. I'm going to come over here. Get one strand isolated and pull it out. That's it. So now I got the needle threaded. I'm going to do the hoop and loop method, and I'm going to come down about 15 stitches. I don't need to worry about the bottom because I have more than enough, so I'm just going to guess where to start here. Don't do this at home, folks. Okay, I'm not going to guess. 1, 2, 3, okay, so I'm going to start right here. Okay, so now I'll begin stitching, and this is the counted cross stitch. Starts now. This fabric was rolled in a roll and had been flattened, so I ironed it before we started, but I'm noticing it's very easily wrinkled. But here we go. my first stitch is in for my summertime cross stitch pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to skip 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one ended up being more of how I start and information than a stitch with me, and I'm sorry about that, but okay, I just was checking to make sure my count was right because they are not even. I thought there would probably be 5 over here too, but they are different. Not much has happened in my life the last couple days. I've just not been feeling well. I went to the chiropractor yesterday for my back, but my goodness, whatever he did there, it helped make me start feeling better. And it was like I was coming out of a tunnel after while I was still there. Something happened. I started feeling better. So I'm a believer in chiropractic care. I've heard that it affects everything, but I've never experienced that big of a difference before when going. I'm starting trying to clamp down a little bit more on my carbohydrates. I've already been doing low carb, but I'm trying to start reducing that yet again, so I can do the diet gradually. And actually, what I did yesterday, I don't know how many carbs I had, but it wasn't very many, and I actually feel better. I feel even better than I was feeling. So, I don't know if it has anything to do with the carbs or the chiropractor or whatever, but I figure if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we'll just carry on. Things are going well with Daniel. One of the people that is on the project is leaving the project, and that person won't be replaced, but they've told the company that they will probably keep, at least for a little bit longer, they'll keep the other 4 that are on that project. Which is great because Daniel loves working there so much. He loves being in Wisconsin. He loves, oh, I'm sorry, bumped the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna count again. See, I can't talk and count. I remember the first time I started that June cross stitch, I had to take everything out that I had already done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this time I'm counting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see what the problem is. You can't see the underneath stitch right here. I don't know what I did there. So this is how I do the fix on that when I do that. I don't know why I do it, but I do it from time to time. I'm going to come under and place that stitch underneath it. And then right as rain. It doesn't look right. I think what happened was instead of doing a cross stitch, I did an up and down stitch on that one. So I'm going to probably back out of that. This is probably one of the longest stitch with me's that I've done, even though I've done only like 10-15 stitches here. But I'm going to wrap it up now. I know you guys don't have all day to spend with me, and I want to thank you for joining me for the diamond painting effect with Corey that stitches. And I want you to take care, and I'll see you again in the next one.